You think crying means you've lost control. But your body isn't losing anything in that moment. Your voice doesn't break because you're too emotional. It breaks because your system has stopped your language mid-conflict. In the next few minutes, you'll see why this only happens with certain people, and not everywhere. You're standing in a small room during an argument. The air feels thick, like there's no space left between your sentences. You start to speak, but your voice drops halfway through the very first line. Your eyes, once fixed on them, drift toward the floor without you meaning to. Inside, you still know exactly what you wanted to say, but your mouth simply won't follow your intention anymore. There is a clean split between your thoughts and your output, and you notice it happening in real time. This isn't about being sensitive. It's about what happens when your brain prioritizes survival over speech. Stay with this. Don't try to interpret it too fast. Because what happens next isn't just an emotional expression. It's a shutdown you can actually observe. You're standing in the middle of an argument, maybe in a small kitchen under those harsh, uncomfortable overhead lights. You know exactly what you want to say. But the moment you look at their face, your sentence just breaks. A heavy silence takes over. It feels like every word in your head has suddenly evaporated. You try to reach for them, but the only thing you find is a sharp, tightening ache in your throat. To the person standing across from you, this silence looks like surrender, like you've grown weak. But the truth is, your mind has completely frozen. You find yourself wondering, the words were right there. Why did they disappear? This isn't an emotional overflow. Not yet. It's a total system collapse, happening at the exact moment you need your voice the most. But here's the strange part. It doesn't happen in every situation. The strange thing is, your thoughts are perfectly clear when you're alone. You can think logically. You can write long, persuasive messages with total confidence. But the moment you stand face to face with another person, everything changes. Your nervous system isn't even processing the conversation anymore. Instead, it's being hijacked by the tone of their voice and the subtle shifts in their expression. Suddenly, your mental clarity depends entirely on one thing: whether or not someone is watching you. This difference is a major signal, and your internal system has a very specific reason for doing it. The reality is, nothing dangerous is happening right now. Yet your body completely disagrees. A raised voice, a sharp tone, even a calm criticism paired with a tight, tense expression. Your body reacts long before the actual meaning of the words even forms. This is because your nervous system is holding on to threat patterns from your past. It isn't responding to the argument itself. It's responding to the cues it has learned to associate with danger. You can't separate your present safety from your past memories fast enough, so your body just reacts first. Your reaction is actually older than your logic, and that is exactly what creates the tears. It worked once, so your system kept it. As a child, conflict often feels inescapable. You cried when voices rose, and suddenly the situation slowed down or stopped. Your nervous system filed that away. Tears equal safety. This is behavioral reinforcement linking your tears with a survival outcome. The cost is that adult conflicts now trigger the exact same automatic response, even when escape is no longer needed. What saved you then is repeating you now. And it doesn't always match the person you've become today. This mismatch is exactly why the emotional rebound feels so overwhelming. It never comes out when you want it to. It only happens when you finally stop holding everything together. There are days when you stay perfectly composed at work or in public. You act normal. You stay professional. But later, one tiny, insignificant trigger releases everything. This is your unprocessed emotional load searching for a safe place to discharge. When the social pressure finally drops, your system lets go. Suddenly, the smallest moment becomes the final drop. So the real question isn't what just triggered you, it's what was already there waiting to be heard. Nothing about you is broken, but nothing about this is random either. You might still find yourself in the same kinds of arguments, but now you're starting to notice the pattern forming earlier, long before the words even break. This awareness creates a vital space between the trigger and your response. You begin to observe the collapse instead of just falling into it. Old automatic reactions might still appear sometimes, but they no longer have total takeover. Understanding doesn't erase the reaction, it only makes it visible. And visibility changes everything. What looks like an emotional breakdown during conflict is actually a temporary collapse of your speech access. While your nervous system processes a perceived threat, your tears are not the message. They are simply what appears when language stops working. You are the kind of person who stays aware, even when your voice disappears mid-sentence. Not everyone is capable of noticing that split while it is happening. The moment your words stop is not the moment you lose yourself. It is simply the moment your system changes its priority. Think of the last time you cried during an argument. What exactly was the first sentence that didn't make it out? If this pattern feels familiar, there is more like this waiting for you in the next video. Some silences are not emotional, they are structural.